I got to choose between two majors, criminal justice, science of bakery and pastry art. I was thinking like a self-study, kind of like, thinking about it. And I asked myself, how do you see myself? I mean, how do you see yourself in the future? So I feel that culinary, like in general, it's very big. So you can be a teacher, you can be a chef, you can be a manager, you can be a food and beverage director or manager.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Career Education and Learning Center podcast. I'm your host, Mitchell Rivers. I am thrilled, elated, and honored to have Salma Samit on our show today. Selma is a pastry chef at Levy Restaurants. And I probably said that wrong, ladies and gentlemen. You used to it, so hey, don't worry about it. But I'm telling you, you're going to enjoy this young lady here. So, Salma, say hello to the audience for me.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for inviting me today and be one of your hosts. I really appreciate that.
So, Salma, tell the audience a little bit about yourself and your journey to your current career path coming from Morocco. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, she's from Morocco and came here to the U.S.
I've been here 8 years, and for me, pastry was more than a job. It was like a passion that I discovered like back home. So I'm coming from Moroccan culture, which is very rich culture when it comes to food. Special ingredient like saffron, argan, citrus, dates, nuts. People's around me, my family, my friends, they just discover the talent that I have, the passion, the connection with food when it comes to culinary art. So I was very obsessed about it. I'm always in the kitchen, helping my grandma. So I think I got most of the skills and knowledge from her. So that's how it started.
So did you always want, so that's where it started. Did you always want to be a pastry chef? Was that just a hobby, or did you want to be like an engineer, a doctor, a lawyer, the regular, what I call FUPA jobs that everybody say, right?
No, actually, it was a hobby though, but I never expect myself being a chef. My dream was like just following my father's path. He was a cop. I always had that dream. And then when I came here, I got to choose. I'm like, what am I doing now? I got to choose between two majors, criminal justice, science of bakery and pastry art. I was thinking like a self-study, kind of like thinking about it. I asked myself, how do you see yourself in the future? So I feel that culinary, like in general, it's very big. So you can be a teacher, you can be a chef, you can be a manager, you can be a food and beverage director or manager. You can work from home, you can have your self-employment, I'm like, okay, I don't want to take too much risk, So, like I said, probably people around me discover more, like I said, the passion more than myself. But when I get to the field, I was like, I think I did the right choice though. I just see myself, in a pastry and culinary in general.
So you could have studied anywhere around the world, Selma. I'm pretty sure you could have gone to Asia, Canada, Africa, Europe. I mean, you could have gone anywhere. Why did you choose to come here to the United States to do some studying?
Well, first of all, I didn't came here for studying. I came here with a lottery, Like I said, I would love to. I'm willing to have a chance to go around the globe, learn different type of cuisine. I love, by the way, French cuisine and Italian cuisine as well. And
You're trying to make me hungry on this podcast. I didn't say nothing, ladies and gentlemen. I think after this podcast, we all gonna get something to eat. I think after this podcast, ladies and gentlemen, we all gonna get something to eat, because I tell you what, when she's describing all those good foods, and then she's a pastry chef, and I love cakes and pies and cupcakes and desserts. So I think I'm going to have to go get me a cupcake or something after this podcast.
Trust me, I'm feeling the same way right now. But like I said, I came here for living. more than career. But like I said, again, I came to a new country, and you gotta decide what you're gonna do. You gotta choose your path. Do you want to work a multiple job, making money, or you just want to go through like education and create a whole career? I got to choose to do this, to be honest, and I think again I did choose the right thing for me. I do feel that the education system was very smooth, very helpful. I got a lot of like support from my advisors, from my instructors, a lot of motivation. To be honest, everything was very like smooth, like I said,
When everything was smooth, what challenges, did you have any challenges when you came from Morocco to here? What were some of the challenges that you encountered once you came to the U.S.?
I mean, obviously, first of all, the language. So,
Yes, the language here in the U.S. is not always straight English, as I say.
Trust me, when I came,
this language.
Of course, trust me, when I came here, I almost had like zero language. Few word things that I learned from like music or like movies. A very like basic word. I wasn't even able to make a conversation. So for me, during the whole 8 years, learning the language, doing the whole career, that's all like struggle. And beside of that, it's like I said, the living thing, you don't have nobody here. And then, you got to pay your expenses and all that. So, all that together, I used to have, I used to study in the morning. I work in the afternoon, just working hard to achieve my goal.
Now, could you read English? I mean, it's one thing to not speak any English coming here, or especially American English, I recall, because it's definitely different than Britain English. Definitely different. So could you read English? Because I think it's even harder. You come here, can't speak English, and then you're going to school reading in English. How was that transition?
I've seen a lot of people find it hard. But let me tell you this, I'm really doing better writing than speaking.
Okay.
Because think about it, when you talk, it's very rare that you think before you say things, but when you write, you get the chance to correct it, thinking about it, before you write it, basically.
Yeah, I still think that transformation, and I'm always amazed and kind of embarrassed, I would say a little bit taken back, when people come here from other countries and they say, well, I just watch TV and I learn English. I watch the Spanish channel, okay? I took Spanish 1 and 2 in high school, and I still cannot speak a lick of Spanish. Cannot speak a lick of Spanish, Holly. I have Spanish friends in which I'm speaking to every once in a while, and I try to slip a little in there, and they're like, Mitchell, you better speak English. And I barely speak English, so. I mean, to make that transition, so I guess if I could try writing Spanish, that would be better. But do you have any specific pastries that's your favorite, that you love to fix? Like, is it cakes? Is it cupcakes? Is it pies? What type of pastries do you love to fix for people?
Again, I love French pastry. So I'm more like a mousse kind of like person, like fruity, either like tropical berries. I like to add my fruit, citrus to every type of dessert. Custard, I love creme brulee. I love like fruit tart, lemon meringue tart. So, that's kind of like my type of dessert that I like.
So when you started your career here, did you start at a bakery shop? Did you start at a small, like on your own? How did you start as far as once you start making your pastry career there?
So I want to tell you this. So when I was in the school, I was working in the meantime in a small bakeries because I do want to get the knowledge, but at the same time, I want to get the skills and the practice. You need the experience for you to work on a bake shop. That's why I want to start small. It's okay to start small and go big. So I do have a little bit of knowledge since I was in the school, and I started working in a few bakeries. I mean, also like big bakeries like Italy, a popular marketplace, if you want to name it. And then I moved to restaurants, working on the line, kind of like different experience, learning like, again, different skills, moving to hotels, which combine between like line and baking, high volume as well. And then from hotels to the convention center, which is like the most high volume production I've ever
Yes,
seen.
yes.
Yeah. So yeah, it was, if you take a look at these positions, they all like connected and related to each other. I just get like the basics, and I went from there, more learning like more and more different type of skills. And like I said, they all like connected, which helped me to grow in my career.
So each step you took was like a building block, you're saying. So you build upon one, the other to help you out to get to where you are now at Levy Restaurants, right, at the convention center. So each one was a building block, and you learn and train for each one and help with the other job. Is that correct?
I do call it smart moves. Each move was very like thoughtful, thinking about it before I took it. Okay. So I'm like, I do have, like I said, I do have a goal. Same thing. If you want to build a house, you're going to think what equipment you need, what tools you need. So same thing. I'm like, I do have a goal in the front of me. So how am I achieve that goal? What I need to go from point E to point Z? Like I said, what's very thoughtful.
Yeah. And so you thought about each step that you're making and even further steps, to what you're going to do later on in life. So that's a great stepping stone to go from one step to another step and to keep going. So exactly. You build upon now working in you're in the management now. So how is management different than what you was doing non-management? What have you learned from that experience? Because I was in management and non-management before. And so I was in retail where I was a worker, and then become a management was a transition for me. And then I had to learn how to delegate. How is management different for you?
So it's a whole transition, a whole big position. Yes. That so much responsibility. So moving, like I said, from a baker, line cook, pastry cook 1, pastry cook 3 to a chef and a manager. It was I was like, what am I doing here? And then for you being a chef and a manager at the same time at one of the largest convention center in the northeastern United States. So like I said, very challenging, a very high volume of production, big team. I have 8 people in my bake shop. Sometimes I have more than that when we have like big events. So I feel the whole experience at Levy Restaurants allow me to learn more and more. Every like event and functions that we have, it's totally different than the other one. I do appreciate the hiring managers giving young chefs like myself the opportunity to learn from such an experience. So again, I really enjoy working for Levy, and I do believe they're a very amazing, supportive team. And for many more years coming, for sure.
Yeah. Now, when I was in management, one of the things I had trouble with was delegation, because I'm used to doing everything myself. So when you're in a small bakery, you're probably doing most of the things yourself. How did you have such a hard transition like I did, delegating and assigning people to do things that you normally could do yourself?
I'm going to tell you what's the biggest challenge that I had. First of all, it's the language barrier, because the whole team speaks Spanish. I don't. It's the communication kind of like barrier. Managing like a big team, like, and a lot of like paperwork up to like 500. And managing this whole like events when it comes to like ordering, inventory, thinking about different recipes, because like I said, every event and function, different dessert, different pastries, you got to think about all that. So it's not easy at all. But to be honest, it was a step by step. Like I said, the team was very supportive. I took a challenge. I just challenged myself. I didn't even know what the hell is going on. And so I'm like, oh my God. I was like, oh my God, am I really doing this? I was like, wow, yeah. Again, it's such a beautiful, amazing experience. I enjoy it every single day.
And what do you enjoy most about being a pastry chef? What do you enjoy most about being a pastry chef, Sam?
When it comes to pastry, it's all about creativity, So I do enjoy the innovation of making a new dessert, challenge myself, training my people also to do the same thing I do. I'm a very picky person when it comes to my dessert. So I do really like details. That's something that I learned from my previous chefs. All the details, perfection, hygiene, sometimes I'm just thinking about it and be like how this beautiful thing come out, and that's exactly what made it probably special.
And what type of feeling do you get? I know in any profession, when more or less I still do, when I'm in financial services and I see my clients achieve their goals, does it give you pleasure when someone tastes your food or eats your food and the joy come out of them and say, man, this was wonderful and this tasted great? How's that feeling come across to you?
So every time I really get very good feedback, which is really keeps me always motivated. Again, it's not even the look, because sometimes, you get a beautiful looking dessert, whatever, but when you taste it, it's just ew, it's kind of not what you expect, basically. So I do focus on the looking. I mean, but again, I like the quality. So I want to make sure the ingredient and the taste on the same level as the appearance, basically.
So that what keep you motivated in being a pastry chef is the feedback from your clients and from people who taste your food. Is that what motivates you to keep going?
Exactly.
Because I love eating, and anytime that you hear it on a podcast that you want to send me some cakes, pies, or whatever, don't have to worry about it. The looks, the taste, it don't matter. Just send it. It don't matter. I would eat regardless. It don't matter. Just send it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, maybe just send everybody else one. I'm just kidding. I know you can't do that, but hey, just send it. You got Amazon, you got FedEx, you got UPS. Just send it. So it don't matter to me. Just send it. I really, really enjoy that. So do you have any future plans for yourself as far as being a pastry chef in 10 to 15 years? I should go 5 years, because 10, 15 years, I can't even think next year or next week. So do you have any goals that you want to accomplish in the next 5 years?
So before moving to an executive, a position, I still want to learn more as a chef. I don't want to take a step forward and go to management before I get enough of my passion. So my plan is basically going back to school, basically one of chocolate school and culinary school. Yeah, I mentioned maybe one of them in Las Vegas. So or outside the country for sure. So that's my desire.
So your desire is to do something we all love. I'm pretty sure my audience is chocolate. And yes. We support you going to learn more about chocolate. There's no one that will not support you. You can run a GoFundMe page, and I guarantee you will have enough money to support you to learn more about chocolate, especially here in America, okay? We love sweets. We love chocolate. There's not another country that has the repercussions of sugar than we do. We have diabetes, we have obesity, we have all bad teeth, you name it, because we love sweets. America loves sweets, and chocolate is on top of that list.
I really recognize that. I'm a pastry chef, but I don't really have that sweet tooth. I don't really I have to chase my dessert, basically, but before even make it. But I don't really eat much sweets, and I discover people, they have such a love when it comes to dessert and sweets. So and I do feel chocolate, it's a whole different art. So I want to learn something different, making those masterpieces with chocolate. So I want to take it as a challenge again, and I'm keeping learning. This field, it's not gonna stop in here. I just go with the more trendy dessert and trendy kind of type of sweet. So I think I do have
I agree. I mean, I think that we have learned from this podcast about you, Selma, is that you love challenges. I mean, you arise to the occasion, as we say, to the challenges that come before you each and every step of your career thus far. And I'm pretty sure that next challenge, which you said is chocolate, becoming a chocolate, as far as learning the chocolate industry and learning how to make chocolate to the highest level is going to be challenging for you. But I have no doubt that you will accomplish that goal. And when you accomplish that goal, again, I will give you my address at the end of the podcast. Make sure you send me all the I can be a taste tester for you. You know, they wouldn't hire me at Hershey or Mars, but hey, you can hire me to be a taste tester. You know,
I don't mind at all. It's all yours. You know.
So before we leave this podcast, do you have any parting words that you want to say to our audience and students?
Yes, to create a path and set up goals before moving forward and choose a major. You got to think about things that you love and you're passionate about it. There is always struggles. You're not going to learn from easy things. You're definitely going to learn from the hardest things. And we all do mistakes. So just learn from mistakes. Keep that positive energy, positive people around you. And you got to fight no matter what. You have goals and your career, your future matter than anything else. So just keep fighting, keep going. I think we're in a great country that support and give all the opportunities for us to achieve what we desire.
That was well said. And again, thank you so much, Selma, for coming on our show. I learned a lot, especially about pastries and how hungry I can get over a podcast talking about it.
I'm about to make my lunch right now because I can't support it anymore.
Oh, man.
Thank you so much for the invitation. You're such a genuine person. Like I said, I love your energy. I love the way that you're looking and discover people that are very passionate about their jobs. So I really wish you a good luck. Keep it that way.
Well, thank you so much. I love the kind words, and I will take it to heart and try to continue to do my best on this podcast and other ventures that I have in the future. And I also like to thank our viewers and listeners for joining me, Mitchell Rivers, on the Career Education Learning Center podcast. We're making your career dreams a reality. And now you can also catch me on radio. Yes, internet radio on WDRBmedia.com, where I have a segment called Got Resources every Thursday morning at 11:30. So, like she said, be passionate about what you do, be confident, and love thy neighbor and try thy best. Good night. Take care. Bye-bye.
Good night. Take care. Bye-bye.